Let's learn how to approximate some square roots. Some square roots we know are perfect squares. For instance, we know the square root of 1 is 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. And we know the square root of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. And similarly, we can do the square root of 9, the square root of 16, and so on. So those are exactly what the square root of 4 is, what the square root of 9 is, square root of 16 is, and so on, because they're perfect squares. But what if we were asked to find what is the square root of 21? Well, the square root of 21 is an irrational number. It has a decimal that goes on forever and never repeats. We could go to a calculator and get a decimal approximation. We would get 4.58. Again, it goes on forever here. I'm just going to round this to 2 decimal places. 4.58. And the little squiggles here means it's approximately the same as 4.58. So that's what we mean by approximating square roots. What is it expressed as a decimal? What's a close decimal approximation to that? Well, what if we did not have a calculator to enter in the square root of 21 and get 4.58? Let's say we just wanted to get an approximation of what it was without using the calculator. Well, one of the things we could do is we could use a number line. So I've made a little number line up here, and we do not know what the square root of 21 is, but we do know what the square root of 1 and 4 and 9 and 16. These are the numbers that are perfect squares. They're the numbers that we know exactly what the square root is. So what we need to do is find out where in our number line the square root of 21 will be. So root 21 would fit somewhere in between root 16 and root 25. And it's almost right in the middle. Root 21 is more or less right in the middle between root 16 and root 25. It is a little bit closer to root 25, so we might say that it's about 4.6. And you can see that we would be actually quite close to what the actual square root of 21 is. And remember, we are just approximating what the square root is. Let's try another one. Let's say we had to find out what the square root of 71 is, what the square root of 71 is. Well, I would need to locate where root 71 is. Looks like root 71 would fit in here somewhere. Maybe a little bit closer to 64 than 81. So I'm going to say it's approximately 8.4. Let's bring the calculator up and see how close we are. So the square root of 71 is 8.426, and so on. So we're pretty close. We're accurate to even 1 decimal place. We'll look at one more example. How about if we try the square root of 10? Root 10 would be, well, very close to root 9. So if the square root of 9 is 3 and the square root of 16 is 4, then the square root of 10, being slightly bigger than root 9, we might say it's something like 3.1 or maybe 3.2. So the square root of 10 is approximately 3.1. So this is how we can approximate square roots, by referring to a number line and looking at how close they are to perfect squares that we know exactly what their square roots are. And that's approximating square roots.